starting with invocation. Let us chant from verses 61 to 65 of Atma Bodha. Pratah smarami hridi samsfuradhatma tattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yasvapna jagara sushuptama veti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangaha Yad bhasa bhasyate kadi Bhasyairhyattu na bhasyate Yena sarvamidam bhati Tad brahmetyavadharayet Swayamantar bahir vyapya Bhasayan nakilam jagat Brahma prakashate bahni Prataptahya sapindavat Jagad vilakshanam Brahma Brahmanon yanna kinchana Brahman yad bhati chen mithya Yatha marumarichika Drishyate shruyate yadyat Brahmanon yannatad bhavet Tad vajnana cha tad brahma Satchidanandamadvayam Sarvagam Satchidatmanam Jnana Chakshur Nirikshate Ajnana Chakshur Niriksheta Bhasvantam Bhanumandhavat
Atasmarami hridi samspuradatmatattvam Satchit sukham paramaham sagatim turiyam Yat swapna jagara sushuptamaveti nityam Tad brahma nishkalamaham nacha bhuta sangha. Three important words of Vedanta you need to understand, and in these three words lies the philosophy. We have seen these three words any number of times, and we will keep seeing this again and again and again till you get fed up and drop off. But the words will not change. The three words are Sat, Asat, and Mithya. The three words. Sat is that which exists at all periods of time, unchanging. Sat is that which exists at all periods of time and it doesn't go through vikara. Vikara means change. It doesn't go through change. So that which is permanently existing is Sat. Asat is exactly the opposite. That which doesn't exist at any point in time is called Asat. And what is Mithya? Mithya is that which has a temporary existence and keeps changing constantly. Sat is that which is permanent and doesn't change. Asat is that which never had any existence at all in the first place. Mithya is that which has a temporary existence and changes constantly. That which has a temporary existence is dependent on something that is permanent. This is the second important point. That which has a temporary existence depends on something that which is permanent. It has to depend on something which is permanent. Is the world asat? You can't say it is asat because you are affected by it. The fact that you are affected by it means it is not asat. Therefore, you can't say world is asat. Neither can you say world is sat. Why you can't say the world is sat again? You can't say the world is sat. The world is because the definition of sat is that which is permanent and doesn't go through changes. Therefore, the world is neither sat nor asat. It is called mithya. It is called mithya. Mithya means a temporary. Mithya means a temporary existence. In fact, you don't even say that as temporary existence. You call it as borrowed existence. Again, I repeat, it is not temporary existence, it is borrowed existence. What does this borrowed existence means? Example, you should remember some examples. What is borrowed existence? Ornaments to gold, pot, clay. The clay is sat, the pot is, what is pot? Asatna, you are asatna artham. Clear? Pot is asatna naka tamun ning asatna artham. We say that no sariyana asattu power. Yeah. So what is pot? Gold is sat. What is ornaments? Summa type annuga. It doesn't matter. Simply type. Gold is sat. The ornaments are mithya. The clay is sat. The pots are mithya. Why do we say the pots are mithya? Because it comes out of clay, exists as an independent entity, and merges back into clay. But why don't you call it as clay? Why don't you call it as clay then? Because it has a nama rupa. Because it has a nama rupa, you will not call it as clay. Because it has a nama rupa, you call it as pot. Why are you called Vasanti? Why are you called Venkatachalam? Why are you not called Brahman? Why? Because you have a nama rupa. Because you have a nama rupa and you have identified with that nama rupa, you have a independent existent. What do you understand? This independent existence is an assumption. It's a mithya because the nama rupa is dependent on The Nama Rupa of the ornaments, the Nama Rupa of the various pots, various sizes, various shapes, the waves of different sizes, different shapes is all dependent upon that one reality. The third, when you see the Nama Rupa, you can't see the reality. Through the Nama Rupa, you can't see reality. உங்க மூலியமா நான் காட பாக்குறேன் சார், அப்படிலாம் முடியாது. You can't see you can't see God through Nama Rupa. That's why it's called Advayam, Arupam, Avarnam, Agotram. Why it is all said? Because you can't see God through Nama Rupa. But your Nama Rupa is special, no, sir? Your Nama Rupa is different. No, rest and all is different, but this is different. No. Yeah. So, what are the three things that you have understood now? There are these three things: the Sat, the Asat, and the Mithya. The Mithya is dependent on Sat. Sat is independently existing of Mithya. The Mithya is dependent on Sat. Carefully follow. The Mithya is dependent on Sat. Sat is not dependent on Mithya. The pot is entirely 24/7, always dependent upon the clay. The clay is not even for a split second dependent upon the pot. The ornaments are dependent upon the gold always, though it seems to have independent existence, though it seems to appear independent. Mithya is dependent existence. From this, what do you understand? The world is Mithya. It means what? Mithya dependent existence nu solliyachu. Appadina what is world? What is world? Dependent. Dependent on what? Engita da sir. The whole world is dependent on me. Now the whole thing is collapsed. Yeah, correct, sir. Ipodan you have talking sense. The world is, at least the world is not, sir. Family is dependent on me. At least family, sir. You can't say, okay, world may not, but my family, you come and stay in my family, you know. Half a day if I'm not there, whole thing is collapsing. Yeah. Father is collapsing, mother is collapsing, children is collapsing, partners are collapsing, everything is collapsing. Therefore, it is dependent on me. Yeah. You yourself is dependent on. Yeah. The world is dependent on you. You are dependent on something else. If you work backwards, if you work backwards, something is dependent on something, and that something which is dependent on something is dependent on something else. If you work backwards, there has to be an adhishtanam, there has to be a base where it should not be dependent on anything else. That adhishtanam is Brahman. That adhishtanam is Brahman. That reality is Brahman. That adhishtanam is Brahman, and what you experience is Mithya. The moment you understand that you have a dependent existence, ego goes down. But otherwise, ego is so. I am a very self-sufficient, independent person, sir. Mithya. Vedanta says Mithya. I am so much dependent and inferior person, sir. Vedanta says Mithya. Anything you say, any word you utter, it will be called as Mithya. Failure, sir. Mithya. Success. Mithya. Acquisition. Mithya. That which you have acquired, yaro putting poitanga. Yeah, that which you have acquired, somebody changed the name in the document. You go there, that fellow says it is mine. What is that? Shankar, what is that? அது இன்னொருது சார், அதெல்லாம் மித்தியா கிடையாது, அது இன்னொருது மித்தியா. Anything you talk, anything you say is mithya. Through logic and reason, intelligently, you may be able to appreciate this idea, but you will not be able to accept it as your life is governed by mithya. Intellectually, you will be able to appreciate it. You will say, wow, sir, very good. What a knowledge, what an analysis, what an explanation. And it stops with that appreciation. It is very difficult to digest the fact that your life is governed by this principle of mithya. Manana and tapas is required to understand that your life is governed by this principle of mithya. What is mithya? It's temporary. Even when it is temporary, it is dependent on something for its existence. That's why it's called temporary. Even when it is temporary, it cannot exist on its own. Even if it is temporary and if it can exist on its own, it is still all right. No. Even when it is temporary, it cannot exist on its own. This is called mithya. This mithya is what in verse number 63, he called it as mirage. This mithya is called as mirage. The mirage has no independent existence. The mirage has no independent existence of its own apart from the desert. That's why it's called mirage. The mirage is dependent on the desert. Desert is not dependent on the mirage. The pot is dependent on the clay. The clay is not dependent on the pot. The ornaments are dependent upon gold. Gold is not dependent on the ornaments. The desert is the substratum upon which the mithya lasts. The desert is the substratum upon which the mithya lasts, plays. Similarly, you thinking that you are an individual, having this individual existence is mithya. If you are mithya, everything around you becomes mithya. Everything around me is unreal, sir, but I am real. No. The moment you understand you as mithya, everything around you becomes mithya. Therefore, Vedanta says, forget about understanding the world as mithya. Understand you are mithya. If you have accepted and understood and digested that you are mithya, what about the family? Mithya. Children? Mithya. Birth? Mithya. Death? Whose death? Whose death? Neighbor's death illa. Whose death? Your own death. Your own death. You welcome life and you welcome death. You welcome living, you welcome death. You will not be affected, you will not be worried, you will not be disturbed, affected by any of these things. Reason being, it is understood as mithya, temporary. According to your likes and dislikes, You want the longevity of the mithya. Something that you like, you want it to last for very long. Something which you don't like, you want to end, you want that to end immediately, instantly. It just has to go, sir. How it will go? It has to be there always. How? How can it be there always? Also, how can it just leave? You are holding on to it. The mithya is because of, the mithya appears satyam because of raga dvesha. The mithya appears satyam because of raga dvesha. Therefore, what Vedanta says, remove the raga dvesha and look at the world. Remove the raga dvesha and look at yourself. Then we will talk whether it is real or unreal. As long as you are having this raga dvesha, affected by raga dvesha, working only to fulfill your raga dvesha, what you have to accept. See, as long as you are working on raga dvesha, as long as you are not willing to accept raga dvesha as the problem, as long as you are trying only to have that which you have like and discard that which you don't like, what will be the end result of this pursuit? What will be the end result of this pursuit? Shoka and moha. You may agree, you may not agree. It doesn't really matter. The law doesn't change. Shoka and moha is the result of pursuing raga dvesha. Therefore, what Vedanta says, keep aside raga dvesha and look at your own existence objectively and look at the existence of the world objectively, minus your raga dvesha. Then you will understand this. What you will understand? The sat, the asat, and mithya. Then you will understand these three. What are the three that you will understand? The sat, the asat, and mithya. But sir, first make me understand that it is mithya. Raga, dvesha and all, I will deal with it later. Yeah, that's a problem of the human beings always. Make me understand this as mithya. That's what you do. Raga, dvesha, Allah, I will handle it by myself later. Abdina, what does it mean? I will not let go of it. I will keep it. I will keep it as it is. What are you supposed to do, sir? What is this knowledge supposed to do? You are not supposed to tell me, get rid of raga dvesha. What are you supposed to tell me? What are you supposed to tell me? How to keep the raga dvesha and still not be affected. That's all I have come for. I have not come for. Since you claim you are very wise, since you claim you are very brilliant, since you claim this knowledge is Vedanta, it has the solutions for everything, I will keep my raga dvesha. I will pursue raga dvesha. What you should do? Remove the moha and the shoka. Are you able to follow? Remove the shoka and remove the moha. That is not possible. Try. People are trying. Generations after generations are trying. In their own way, they are trying. If somebody tried through something else, we are trying through science and technology. 150 years later, science and technology will become so outdated, they will try through. It is so new now, no? So it is so fancy. After 100, 150 years, thank God we will not be alive so long to see, then we will look like a real fools if we live for so long, because it's so fancy. No, you think it is so great. You think it is so wonderful. You think it is extraordinary. All the previous generations were all fools till now, and we are the wisest. Yeah, we believe that. 200 years later, that generation will say the same thing about About us. The pursuit of raga dvesha will result in shoka first. First, it will result in shoka. If you don't wake up, it will result in moha. The Sanskrit word for another word for moha is vishada. Another word for moha is vishada. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. What does Vishada means? Yoga of Arjuna's depression, despondency. You pursue Raga Dvesha, first what will come? Shoka will come. If you wake up, you are all right. If you don't wake up and continue, what will come? Vishada will come, depression will come. And after depression, what is the only way? Once you are depressed, there is only one way out of depression. What is that? What is that? Punarjanma, suicide. Suicide, punarjanma. Why? Because there is no other way. Now connected to the knowledge. The mithya is appearing as satya because of what? The mithya is appearing as sat. The mithyam is appearing as satyam because of what? Because of what? Because it is 65 million years ago, 4 billion years ago. It is because of that. The mithyam is appearing as satyam because of what? Raga dvesha. Whose raga dvesha? Whose raga dvesha? Your own raga dvesha. So, what you need to understand? Let me remove my raga dvesha and see what the world is all about. When you remove the raga dvesha and see what the world is all about, what would you see? There exists nothing that is not Brahman. There exists nothing that is not Brahman. If anything other than Brahman exists, if anything other than Brahman exists, if anything other than Brahman is seen, Patale it is. If you see it, what you should understand? You understand it as Viraj. What is Raga Dvesha? Attraction and aversion. What is Raga Dvesha? Attraction and aversion. You are attracted to something and you have an aversion to something else. Or possibility. Another possibility. You will be attracted to something. Because of that attraction, you are desperate to do anything to get it. And the same object or person, you will develop aversion, and then you will be ready to do anything to get rid. Second. Third, the real complication of life. In the same object, in the same person, something you like, something you dislike. What can you do? What can you do at that point of time? You can neither hold on to it, nor you can let go. Yeah. Pulival purchakadendradidda. Upanishad gives the story. The man is getting washed away in the river. Flooded water is getting washed away. As he is getting washed away, he was desperately praying to God. What was he praying? If only I get a log of wood, I can just cling on to it. I can just cling on to it and escape. He was so desperate and so sincere and so dedicated in his prayer. The log of wood came. And he held on to it and he thanked God. Thank God for giving me the log of wood. Few minutes later, he realized it's a crocodile. Few minutes later, he realized that it's not a log of wood. It appeared to be the log of wood, but really it was a crocodile. What made him to see the crocodile as log of wood? What made him to see that? What made him to see the crocodile as log of wood? In the crocodile park, he has not visited, sir. That's why. If he had visited crocodile park, he would have known. School biology, he didn't study properly. If he had studied that properly, he would not have done that. What made him see the crocodile as the log of wood? What made him see that? Desperation. Exactly correct. As you said, desperation. Next week, she can take classes. Yeah. That one word, desperation. Just that desperation. And what brings about this desperation? Is it the situation? It is the person? Is it the object outside? What brings this desperation? What brings this desperation? You feel you are caught up in that. You feel you are entangled in that. You feel you are so tied to that. What is it that ties you to that? What is it that has caused this entanglement? What is it that it is? What is it that caused this desperation? Raga, Dvesha, Moha, Nitya, don't come for these classes anymore. Stop coming for these classes. It's useless after this. What is it that is? What is it that is causing that desperation? What is it that is causing this desperation? At least what? Raga, Dvesha, Dairima. At least boldly in the class. After the class, anyway, you are not going to leave it. That is a different story. But at least in the class, you can say that, no, it is because of Raga and Dvesha. Who's Raga, Dvesha? Who's Raga, Dvesha? One's own Raga. And what is Raga, Dvesha means? Attraction and aversion. Attraction means desperation to want it. Aversion means desperation to get rid of it. Whether you want it or get rid of it, what is common? Desperation is common. The desperation they call as moha. The desperation is called as delusion. Moha. Pramada. Modern day depression. Modern day is depression. Another 50 years later, some other word they will discover. It doesn't really matter what word you use. The reality is what? The desperation. What drives you to that desperation? Raga, Dvesha. And what is the nature of Raga, Dvesha? What is the nature of Raga, Dvesha? My well-being is in your hands, another Raga, Dvesha. If my well-being is in my hands, Abdina, I am free. What is Raga, Dvesha? My well-being is, if I give my mental well-being at your control. If I leave my well-being at the control of profit, if I leave my mental well-being at the family, the children, the society. What will happen? Sir, இப்போ வந்து family society எல்லாம் இல்ல, electionsல யார் ஜெயிக்க போறாங்க? Yeah. Who is the candidate? Whether he see the right candidate or the wrong candidate, who will win, who will not win. அதுதான் இப்போதி. It doesn't really matter what it is. Are you able to follow? It causes that desperation. What is desperation? The desperation is because either you are wanting it, missing it, or the presence is, if the presence is torturing, that is called dvesha. Yeah. What is dvesha? The presence is torturing. உங்க கிளாஸ் டார்ச்சர் தாங்க முடியலன்னா சார்னா it is dvesha. ஐயோ சாட்டர்டே கிளாஸ் இல்லையா? What happened to sir? Is in ICU or still alive? ஒரு நாள் கிளாஸ் அவ்வளவுதான் இல்லையா? Is in ICU? Nothing. ICU ல ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. ICU ல இருந்தா it will be groupல போட்டு வெங்கட் will say we are all free from today. Why? Because no more classes. Man is in ICU, he will not come back na abada permanent. You know what is dvesha? The presence is obnoxious, torturous, excruciating. That is dvesha. What is raga? What is raga? Absence is torturous. Absence is torturous na raga. Presence is torturous na dvesha. But sir, life will be very simple if the other comes when I want it and when the other leaves when I don't want it. Now, how nice life will be? How nice it will be, no? When I want it, they should come. When I say no, they should go. How nice life will be. We thought Vedantic knowledge will help us to do this, sir. என்னத்துக்கு வேதாந்தா வரும்? என்னத்துக்கு சுவாமி கிட்ட போய் கும்பிடுறோம்? Why are we doing all this? For what? This is dealing with raga and dvesha. The most difficult thing in accepting the knowledge is it is not the people, it is not the environment, it is not the situation, it is raga dvesha. 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, every few verses he keeps saying raga dvesha, raga dvesha, raga dvesha. You go to the Brahma Sutras, he keeps talking about raga dvesha. You go to the Upanishads, they talk about raga and dvesha. And we conveniently don't hear that only. We hear everything else and we just don't hear. If at all we hear this, we will use it to give discourse to somebody else. Even if we hear this, it will be used for what? To give a discourse to somebody else. 3 words. What are the 3 words that you should remember? Sat, Asat and Mithya. The Mithya is appearing as Sat because of Raga Dvesha. Eliminate the Raga Dvesha, remove the Raga Dvesha and look at it. When you remove the Raga Dvesha, eliminate the Raga Dvesha, then you understand this. What is it? There exists nothing that is not Brahman. There exists that is nothing that is not Brahman. If anything other than Brahman exists, it is mirage. It is a mirage. சரியா? So these 3 words. I couldn't go into these three words last week. So I thought we will finish these 3 words and then we move on to the next verse. We study verse number 64 now. 64 padinga.
दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्यत् ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् तद्वज्ञानाच्च तद्ब्रह्म सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम् दृश्यते श्रूयते यद्यत् ब्रह्मणोऽन्यन्न तद्भवेत् तद्वज्ञानाच्च तद्ब्रह्म सच्चिदानन्दमद्वयम्.
Whatever seen or heard cannot be other than Brahman. And on self-realization, one realizes Brahman as existence, knowledge, bliss, and non-dual. Whatever seen or heard cannot be other than Brahman. And on self-realization, one realizes Brahman as existence, knowledge, bliss, and non-dual. Drishyate, Shruyate. Whatever is seen, whatever is heard. All that is seen, meaning all experiences are, in all experiences, in every experience, in all experiences, there are these two things. What are the two things? That which is seen and that which makes you to see. There are these two things. That which is an existence and that which is the adhishtanam. Previously he used the word adhishtanam, one of the beautiful words. Remember some of these words. Remember, it is easy to understand. The world can be viewed from two angles. There are two angles. First thing is, truth is ekam, one. Truth is ekam, one. Of this truth, there is this Brahman and then there is this world. There are two things now. What are the two things now? There is Brahman and then there is this world. Of these two, what is Sat and what is Mithya? Both are Sat, sir. What is your problem? World is also real. Brahman is also real. Why can't you have? Why can't you have two realities? In fact, sir, why only two realities? Why can't there be many realities? In fact, sir, why many realities? Why can't there be infinite number of realities? You really don't know what you are. A person doesn't know what he is saying or asking. Because what is the definition of Satyam? The truth. That which exists at all periods of time and unchanging. You can't have something that is constantly changing. You can't have something that which didn't exist in the past and which is not going to exist in the future. You can't call that as real. Even if you call something as temporarily real, what is the standard for this temporary reality? The senses. Are the senses the standard? Then we have to ask whose senses, no? Then we have to ask whose senses? My senses, sir, where is the problem? My senses is the global reality. My senses are the universal reality. What I see is what is? This is called ajnanam. This is called ajnanam. Ignorance, this is. This is ignorance. Therefore, what do we understand? Therefore, what do we understand? Reality has to be one. That is Satyam. Reality has to be one, and that is Satyam. Then what about the rest? Are they imaginary? No, they are not imaginary, but they are appearing to be real. When we say appearing to be real, what is it that it is dependent upon? We have seen that already. Dependent existence. We have seen that already. Dependent. As now we started with the dependent existence. That which has a dependent existence cannot be called as real. It cannot be called as Satyam. Therefore, what is he saying now? Whatever is seen or heard, does it belong to Brahman or does it belong to world? It belongs to world. If it belongs to world, then it is. If it belongs to world, then it is Mithya, temporary. For Brahman cannot see, Brahman cannot hear. Why? Because it is that only once the seeing. To see, you need பார்க்கிறதுக்கு என்ன வேணும்? What do you need to see? To see, what do you need? Eyes. அப்புறம் eyes, other senses. Eyes. அப்புறம் light. அடேங்கப்பா. Shankaracharyas in this class, sir. All Shankaracharyas in this class. Light down. What do you see? What do you need to see? கண்ணு கண்ணையே பார்த்துக்குமா? What do you need to see? Object. Bada. Correct. What do you need? So, to see, you need the object, the eyes, and the light. The eyes are designed to see the object that is bathed in light, and the eyes cannot see light. Similarly, the senses perceive the world around enlivened by consciousness, but that consciousness cannot be seen, perceived. But the consciousness cannot be perceived because it has no senses. It is senseless. It is Brahman. It is senses. It has no senses. It has no instruments. It has no mind. To see something, you need for your eyes to focus on something, what you need? இருக்கிறதெல்லாம் கண்ணு பார்க்குமா? Eyes are designed to see. Do you see everything? Do you see everything? What do you see? So, for the eyes to fix on something, what drives the eyes to fix on something? Raga Dvesha. Apada. Correct. Second, she gave the second right answer. So 2 classes she can take now. Venkat. Next week, Potrungo. What is this? Maganti Tejasvi. She will do the class next week. Raga Dvesha, correct. Everything is there, but why your eyes focus on something? Why your ears gets fixed on something? What is it? Because of Raga Dvesha. You go into the school, there are 1,000 children, and one particular child comes, the eyeballs slightly expands, no? Why? All are children. Why for that particular child, the eyeball expands? Or the eyes are looking for that particular thing. What is that called? So, Pagarthukku, what all you need now to see? What all you need? Light. First eyes வேணும் இல்லையா? Cataract இல்லாம இருக்கணும் இல்லையா? Glass எடுத்தா அப்படியே ஒண்ணுமே தெரியலன்னா yesterday I told Manohar to remove something. He was struggling. I'm thinking, why is he struggling so much to remove such a small thing? After 15 minutes of struggling, he told me, sir, theriyala sir enakku. Sir, kannadi potrukka vendiyadana. So eyes are there but can't see. Now glasses are not there. So what all you need to see? You need a proper eyes, you need the proper light, you need a proper object corresponding Raga Dvesha. In one word, what are you seeing now? Raga Dvesha. Raga Dvesha. You see what you like to see. You hear what you like to hear. What are we attempting in this? What these great men attempting in this knowledge? Remove this Raga Dvesha and let me see what I am seeing. Remove this Raga Dvesha and let me see what I am hearing. Remove this Raga Dvesha and let me see what I am feeling. Remove this Raga Dvesha and let me see what I am thinking. What do they, that person, that few individuals who are bold enough to try this experiment, what did they experience? Satchidanandam Advayam. They experience Sat Chit Anandam and they experience Advayam. Are you able to follow? Whatever is seen or heard cannot be other than Brahman. Ignorance is when you establish cause and effect relationship. That is Maya. That is Mithya. First mistake is 1 is made to 2. Advayam is made into Dvayam. Adu kuda problem illa. Second is more dangerous. What is the dangerous thing? Establishing a relationship. But life is relationships, no sir. You establish relationship, you are finished. What does relationship means? Snake is born out of rope. Snake resolves into rope. Cause and effect relationship is established very clearly. Correct? 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 Correctana or sound. Correctana geta? Correctana? Yes, you will say. Correcta? You will say? No. What is it? Snake is born out of rope. Snake resolves back into rope. Cause and effect relationship is established very clearly. What is it? Is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? It is wrong. Why? Because rope can never produce a snake. Snake can never come out of a rope. Even when you are seeing the snake existing, what is it that is actually existing? The rope. So, rope, a snake cannot come out of the rope. Even when you are seeing, experiencing, frightened, affectionate, loving, not loving, depressed, raga, dvesha, all this, even when you are experiencing in relation to the snake, all this, in reality, what it is? It is rope. Upon realizing the rope as rope, did snake resolve into rope? Did snake become the rope? Pamba snake emerged. From the beginning there was no snake. From the beginning there was no snake. But you see a snake, you are afraid by the snake, you ask how to deal with the snake. Vedanta give answers for all that. Vedanta give solutions for all that. But all that it says is temporary. Why? Because you will create another snake. Okay. You dealt with one snake, solution is given. Will you stop creating snakes after this? What will you do? What will you do? You'll go and create another snake and then another solution to deal with that snake. And then what will you do? Create another snake. Janma after janma, again and again, you keep doing the same thing. Janma, in this janma, you do the same thing. Janma after janma also, you do the same thing. So what is it now you understand? There are these two. There is this world that is real to me, and then there is this unknown entity called Brahman. This Vedanta is constantly drumming in, constantly trying to brainwash me in. What are the two things now? There is this world which is Satyam, and then there is this Brahman which is Asatya, Mityam kuda kediyadhu. There is this world that is Satyam, and then there is this Brahman which is Asat. Non-existent, temporarily existence kuda illa Brahman. It is non-existent. Now, what is this knowledge saying? What you see as Sat is Mithya. What you don't see at all is Satyam. The vast majority will say this is blabbering. They are just blabbering and they just leave. A few takes the courage to explore this. The few has the courage to plunge into this. And those few who has the courage and plunged to explore this, they say, upon self-realization, one realizes. What does he realize? Brahman as Satchitanandam and Advayam. They experience Brahman as Satchitanandam and Advayam. All the study and reflection is for what? To understand that snake can never come out of rope. So much of study and reflection for what? Not to convert the snake into rope. That's brainwashing. That is hallucination. If you convert the snake into rope, that is That is hallucination. You are brainwashing yourself. But then, yeah. What is this brainwashing? Remember that story Swamiji always gives? The boy went back and asked the doctor, I am convinced that I am not a worm. You have convinced the chicken also I am not a worm, no? Remember that story? The man started believing that he has turned into a worm. See, you can believe anything, no? That's why it's called hallucination. Hallucination, there is, you think you are the best, you think you are the brilliant, you think you are so many things you are hallucinating. No. Similarly, this boy hallucinated that he has turned into a worm. They didn't know what to do. They took him from temple to temple, Vepalla, Adchanga, Dargala, Kutumbai, Mandrichanga, nothing happened. And finally, they took him to a psychiatrist. Psychiatrist said, leave that boy here 6 months. 6 months. I will tell him that he is not a. So every day morning class. Prata Smarami Hridi Samspurada Atma Tattvam Abdina start class every morning. He has a mirror and then he has a picture of a worm. Then he said, this is the earthworm. What do you see there? This is the earthworm. What do you see there? 6 months, education went on. And the boy said, I am very convinced that I am not an earthworm. I am a human being. The doctor was very happy because he has never cured anybody in his life. First man to say, I am cured. He was so happy about himself. So he called the family and said, this man is cured, take him away. So they came. Each and every family member tested him independently to check whether he has actually understood. And everyone, yeah, uncle, aunt, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law, yeah, ellarum varuvanga. Manohar, Srinivasana couldn't be utrukonum. He would have brought. Yesterday, that man was telling me, his brothers, wives, mothers, father-in-laws, 10 connection he gave. 11th, I was spinning. I forgot my name. So that all these fellows came and inspected, and he was told that he is not an earthworm. They are all very happy. They paid, and they paid him extra also. They all left. As they were leaving the gates of the hospital, the man said, I have only one doubt and I clear with the doctor. And the whole family is very convinced that he is all right. Why? Previously, no doubt used to come. At least now, doubts are coming. They thought, fantastic. This guy is the best doctor. And he went back and the doctor looked at him and said, what? I am convinced that I am not an earthworm. Have you told the chicken that I am not an earthworm? Are you able to follow? He said, have you told the chicken? Because I saw you only training me. You never told I didn't see you training the chicken. And what did the doctor say? What did the doctor say? Come inside. Apram prata smara mihridi samspurada atma tattva. You cannot convert the snake into rope like this method. You cannot convert the snake into rope like this. What you need to understand? What do you need to understand? Snake never. Rope cannot produce the snake. The snake can never come out of the rope, and the snake cannot turn itself into a rope. Whatever seen or heard, that's what it means. Whatever seen or heard cannot be other than Brahman, And on self-realization, one realizes Brahman as existence, knowledge, bliss, and non-dual. I'm not talking about the Satchit Anandam and Advayam, because a few classes back we studied in detail what is this Sat, what is this Chit, what is this Ananda and Advayam and all that. The concept here is error, ignorance, mistake. What is the mistake? What is the error? What is the mistake? The temporary is seen as permanent, adhishtanam is missed. That is the ignorance. What is ignorance? The temporary is seen as permanent and adhishtanam is missed. Why the temporary is seen as permanent? Because the senses, the mind and intellect only access this. Whatever the senses, mind and intellect access, it calls it as permanent. It is like the person looking at the tree, the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, misses the root. Why? Because the root is hidden. The root cannot be seen. It's hidden. You look at the tall building and you miss the foundation. Why? Because it cannot be seen. Whatever seen or heard is supported by that one. And then when you say support, it gives a wrong understanding. What is the wrong understanding? As though there is something that it is supporting. Actually, even it is not supporting. It is only that. At one level, you can say the clay supports the pot. That is elementary school. Clay supports the pot is elementary school. Pot is clay in Nama Rupa. That is knowledge. You're able to see? You're able to see the difference? The pot is dependent upon the clay. That is one level. Knowledge grows in grades. And then what is the next level? The relative and the absolute. What is absolute? The pot is nothing but clay having, then why don't you call it as clay only? Why do you have to call it as pot? Because it has a Nama Rupa. For Nama Rupa irukkiradhanaala you have to give it. Okay. Otherwise you are perfectly right in calling it as clay. Gold bangle, gold earring, gold nose ring, gold tongue ring, nalamu rings. You can say ring. That ring is because of the Nama Rupa, but you can call it as gold also. One who sees the gold doesn't get affected by the Nama Rupa. One who sees Nama Rupa gets affected, disturbed by that Nama Rupa. Out of ignorance, whatever is heard, smell, is seen or heard. Smell he didn't say. You have to add all that also. Whatever is seen or heard, etc., cannot be other than Brahman. On self-realization, one realizes Brahman as Sat Chit Anandam. World not other than Brahman. It it ceases to exist. It ceases to exist separate from Brahman. So what you see is not supported by God. At one level, we say what you see is supported by God. And then at another level, you say what you see is pervaded by God. And then at another level, you say the seer, the seen, both are God. The seer is also God, the seen is also God. For there exists nothing other than Brahman. Perception has a utilitarian value. Perception has a utilitarian value means through perception only you can make sense. Even though that sense is nonsense, you can make some temporary sense around. Vedantin accepts the utility but doesn't give reality to it. Able to see the difference? He accepts the utility of perceptions, but he doesn't give reality to it. Accepts utility, but not reality. Why? Because he has understood that there is a reality that is backing it, supporting it. That's why it's called Advayam. You see a tangible wall. You call you call the physicist and ask, he will say it is atoms in motion. I say tangible wall. The physicist says it is atoms in motion. You bring another physicist, he will say it's not even atoms in motion, it is waves and particles. Okay, somebody else will come and say something else. This is perception. This is perception. It's a tangible wall, atoms in motion, waves and particles, maybe something else. All this is called perception. Maybe a physical, maybe a sensory perception or an intellectual perception. It is waves and particles is an intellectual perception. It is tangible wall is a sensory perception, but all belongs to perception only. And perception implies two things. What are the two things? The seer and the seen. Perception implies two: the seer and the seen. Vedanta says at the utilitarian level, at the Vyavaharika level, at the transactional level, it is accepted, but you don't give reality to it. You transact with it as though it is real, but you don't give reality to it. Like actor on the stage. He acts as though it is real, but he understands what? He understands that it is not real. Yeah. You know the Rajinikanth Basha movie, no? I don't know how many times I have seen that movie till now. And I'm struggling to get it online. All other movies are coming. Telugu it's coming, but in Tamil it's not. It's not coming. Telugu vardu, Hindi vardu, enna Tamil varave maatendru. And how can I see that in Telugu and all? I can't see that in Telugu. I can't see it in Hindi because I don't know any of that. And I'm struggling to get, and it's not coming in Language. Nasik is where they mint money. He's such a great fellow that when government mints money in Nasik, a portion will be given to him. It will be sent to him. That's a movie. In reality, if Rajinikanth were to go and stand in front of Nasik gate, minting money, ask for his share, now what will they do to him? What will they do to him? Loosen and sir. Now it is confirmed that he is a. Are able to follow? He portrays the troll. He acts, but deep down he knows his real nature. Deep down he knows who he is in reality. A person who knows that what he is in reality will have this vyavaharika, will have this transactional purposes done very well, but in and through all that, he remains untouched, unaffected by it. Okay. What makes you get involved? What makes you get involved? Correcta solungo. Raga dveshan solungo correcta. Yeah, don't say moha, ignorance, delusion, lack of knowledge. What makes you get? What makes you get involved? Raga and dvesha. Verse number 64. Verse number 64. Over. We have three more. I don't know. 3 more verses. Yeah. 3 more verses, which will be more like summarizing the entire. It will be more like summarizing the entire text. Once we finish Atma Bodha, what do we do after that? Huh? Again, Prata Smarami, we will start Atma Bodha verse number 1 length. Again, we will start that only. Sir, where are that text? Sir, give us some break. No, let us do. Verse number 64 is over. We have 3 more verses, which is more like a summarizing the concept. What is the concept? Akasya Vahniva Jnanam Vina Moksho Na Siddhyati. Knowledge alone is the means for liberation. That's the thing. Knowledge alone liberates you. Other things can be an aid to gain knowledge. Adan theory. Sorry, not theory, the theorem. The theorem is that knowledge alone can liberate you. Rest of the things aid to gain, acts as an aid to gain knowledge. That's the Atma Bodha. That's what will be. With this, we conclude verse number 64. And then we continue with verse number 65 onwards. Any questions are there, Venkat?
Yes, one is there. Mala Venkatesh.
Mala Venkatesh.
Namaskaram, Hari Om.
Hari Om, Cholungo. Yes.
இல்ல எனக்கு இந்த ராகத்வேஷத்துல தான் கொஞ்சம் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் கொஞ்சம் சரியா இல்ல எனக்கு. அதாவது வந்து அப்ப நீங்க சொல்றத பார்த்தா எல்லா I mean the difficulties that we face, the irritation that people show onto us, or the irritation that I have on seeing others or other environment, all, or is it due to the dvesha?
Yes.
And if yes, then அது ஒண்ணுமே முடியாது போல இருக்கு. How do I come out of it?
I have to understand, how do I come out of it? Very good question. How does one come out of dvesha? Raga and dvesha both. How does one come out of?
Raga, at least the timing I can just kind of okay nu sollalam. But dveshatha modalla edukanum illaya?
ரெண்டுத்தையும் சேர்த்து எடுக்கணும்.
Okay.
ஒரு side of the coin போனா other side of the coin சேர்ந்து எடுக்கணும். You have to work. Okay. Yeah, because both are two sides to the same. You can't act only on one. You have to work on both together.
It could be it could be like, for example, somebody is suffering and we give a solution, one or more solutions, and we want people to try for solutions and they are not even trying, they're whiling away the time. And basically it makes me feel suffer. It makes me feel bad looking at their suffering. Though it appears good, but as per the theory, it is also due to raga or dvesha and whatever, due to my fault or due to others' fault, whatever.
What Mala is saying is, சொன்ன பேச்சு யாருமே கேட்க மாட்டேன்றாங்களே சார், what to do? I am saying something for their benefit. I am saying something for their welfare, not taken. It causes irritation. It causes frustration. What is the dvesha? The dvesha comes from a wrong notion, a wrong understanding. What is it? What is the wrong notion? What is the wrong understanding? Others are bound to agree with me or listen to me or accept me. Because I'm saying the truth, because I'm saying something for their welfare, because I'm saying something interested in their welfare, what should they do? They are supposed to agree with me, listen to me, accept what I'm saying, and try. Whatever I'm asking them to do, they should try. It is perception based. That's what we saw in the previous verse. It is perception based. What I see as a problem, whether it is a tangible wall or waves and particle, is based on intellectual perception. So what is a problem? A problem is an intellectual perception. Now I am seeing it as a problem and the other person doesn't see it as a problem at all. I am seeing it as a person wasting time. I am seeing it. The other person doesn't. The other person is not seeing it. Now, how can I make the other person see what I see? If only Shankaracharya had that capacity, if only Buddha had that capacity, if only Swamiji can do it, we all will be enlightened by now. We all will be enlightened by now. Why? Because if they can make us see what they see. But the tragedy of life, but the difficulty of life is, out of ignorance, you see what? In psychology, they call it like that. You see what you want to see. You hear what you want to hear. So, what I am seeing as a problem is perception based, depending on the strength of one's intellect. Depending on the strength of one's intellect, depending on my values and the higher principles that I follow, I see something as a problem or not a problem. For a person who is having a different value system, for a person who is having a different perception, it will be seen as a problem. Just as there are quite a few people in my family till this moment, genuinely believing that I made a blunder, Himalayan blunder of my life is to take up to this life. And you know how I am living life? No. Mala. Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. I am living life based on Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. Not only I am living life based on Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi, I get married, I produce a child, and all of them have to live on Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. What a Himalayan blunder. What a colossal blunder it is. What a wrong choice it is. It is entirely dependent on one's What is it dependent upon? One's perception. And perception is always covered, conditioned by likes and dislikes. And perception is always colored by likes and dislikes. So what Vedanta says, keep aside the likes and dislikes and see per se can it cause dvesha to you. Somebody is wasting their time away. Perfectly correct. Somebody is wasting their time away. Then I stand in front of the mirror and ask this question to myself. What am I doing? But sir, I am doing this work, I am doing this work, I am doing this work. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I do this study, I do this exercise, I do this work, I do this, I do that. I don't cheat, I don't do this, I don't do any of that. That's the lifestyle you have chosen and you reap the benefit of that lifestyle. That cannot be the standard for the world. This understanding removes the dvesha towards those who don't agree or subscribe to my thing. Otherwise, what happens? It's always one of dvesha only. Therefore, what do we do then? I follow a lifestyle of values. Whoever is interested in asking me for help, right till the end, I go out helping the other. But what I will not do, it will not be driven by raga or dvesha. Then I am free from raga dvesha. Now, I'm specifically, since you specifically spoke about dvesha, dvesha comes from, I agree with your observation, Mala. Raga doesn't cause that much hurt, the way in which dvesha causes. The pain that raga causes versus the pain that dvesha causes. The pain and all that is much more in dvesha. Yes, I fully agree with your observation. My dvesha appears perfectly legitimate, perfectly justifiable, perfectly right because I give it a moral coloring. I give it a moral coloring. I give it an ethical value. I make it sound holy. The moment I make something sound holy, rest I will have dvesha only. I may not do it, but if the other does it, I will not have dvesha. Jesus Christ, hate the sin, not the sinner. Dvesha is, I am okay with the sin, but I am not okay with the sinner. Are you able to see the difference? I am okay with the sin, but I am not agreeable, but I don't accept the sinner. Vedanta says, the sin, not the sinner. And you don't have dvesha to somebody because they are sinning differently. Practical tip. Just because somebody is sinning differently from the way that I am sinning, I don't have dvesha. Ena dvesha vanda first dvesha yaar mele varano? Upon myself only. But then I am so sympathetic and compassionate and understanding to myself. Similarly, I have to be compassionate and sympathetic and understanding to the others also. Never have hatred towards the other because they are sinning. They are sinning differently. Adda Vidyasam. One person steals something, other person steals something else. Difference is in that. Therefore, how does one deal with dvesha? Practical tip. Never have hatred because they are sinning. Never have hatred because they are sinning differently. Mantra madri daily. Yeah. Never have hatred because they are sinning differently. Never have hatred because they are sinning differently. Because I am also sinning differently. Since I am also sinning differently, you will not very clear. Both are blind. Clear. Both are blind. Is there one blind person having dvesha towards another blind person? Think about it in this manner. And still, if you have anything to ask, you ask me in the next class, ma. Is it okay, Mala? Think about it in what I said. If you still have anything to ask, we will discuss it in the next session. Seriya? With this?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Raga. Yes, I didn't say about raga. So a few words about raga also. Raga comes with a hope that it can give me happiness. Dvesha comes with the hope that getting rid of it gives me happiness. Raga, dvesha, rendathukkume reason unnada. Raga comes from the hope that having it will give me happiness. That's where you get attached to it. Otherwise, you can never get. Raga means attraction. Literally, raga means attraction. Attraction means what? Attraction for what? Because it can give you happiness. Happiness means what? Happiness is a very big word. You will have raga to that which pampers you. You will have dvesha towards that which doesn't pamper you. You have raga towards that which caters to you. You have dvesha towards that which doesn't cater to you. So it boils. So raga dvesha boils down to what? Cater, not cater. This catering and not catering. From the angle of knowledge, it is called. From the angle of knowledge, it is called ignorance. From the angle of tapas, from the angle of knowledge, it is called ignorance. From the angle of tapas, it is called. From the angle of tapas, what is it called? Anybody? One word. From the angle of knowledge, it is called ignorance. From the angle of tapas, what is it called? From the angle of tapas, it is called selfishness, self-centeredness. From the angle of tapas, it is called selfishness and self-centeredness. Meaning, it is all centering around. It is all centering around me. Selfish in the sense, it's all centers around. It's all centering around me. Centering around me implies what? Centering around me implies my focus is on. Centering around me implies my focus is on myself. So the other becomes the object, or being becomes a tool for my happiness. I develop attachment.
It's a flower.
Yes.
Or just a bird.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yes.
what has that got to do with
When you like, when you see a flower, when you see a bird, when you see a natural scenery, you appreciate it. but you will never want to possess it. You will never want to own it.
But raga is created. What is the difference?
That is an appreciation of that is an appreciation of
What it is?
existence. It is an appreciation of what it is. That is not raga. One is an appreciation of what it is. Another is wanting to. I see a bird, a beautiful bird. Why do I want to put that bird in the cage and keep it in my house? Why do I want to do that? It's a beautiful bird, but why do I want to put the bird in the cage and keep it in my house? This is raga. Seeing the bird as beauty is not raga. That is sheer appreciation. That is sheer appreciation of what it is. Ramatirtha says, to enjoy a beautiful landscape, you need not own it, he said. To enjoy a landscape, you need not own it. Problem comes is when it should be I can see a beautiful car, I can enjoy the ride in the beautiful car. That is not raga. Raga comes when when that car has to be parked in my house and the car that I have looks so inadequate in front of that car. Angada, that's where it turns into a raga. Are you able to see the difference? What I have becomes inadequate in presence of that. Ungrateful, ingratitude it is. Are you able to follow? Where raga comes in? I can still aspire for it, I can still work for it, I can still get it, but I need not feel what I have present as inadequate. I need not feel what I have as inadequate, irritated, frustrated by it. Are you able to see the difference? But generally what happens, raga means I always feel inadequate with what I have. I always feel what I have is limited. I always feel what I have is not up to the standards. Mark, this is called raga. Therefore, so this creates a hope in me. Now carefully follow. This creates a hope in me. With that hope, I acquire an object. I acquire a being. And when that hope gets devastated, hopes are meant to get devastated. Don't worry. Yeah. Hopes nale, it will lead to devastation. And that hope, when that hopes are devastated, you say, I am devastated. Not only I am devastated because that person cheated me. That person cheated me. It's not that person cheated. My hopes, I pitched my hopes beyond. If somebody pitches the hope, I have to lift 100 kilos, abdinna, whose fault it is? இவ்வளோலாம் பேசுறீங்க, உங்களால் இது கூட தூக்க முடியாதுன்னா what do I do? இவ்வளோலாம் பேசுறீங்க, can't you lift 100 kilosன்னா பேசுறது ஈஸிப்பா, lifting 100 kilos is a different. So you don't. Raga creates hopes. When hopes are devastated, it turns into Dvesha. Raga creates hopes, and hopes will not be met. And when hopes are devastated, you develop this. But enjoying a bird, enjoying a scenery, enjoying a beautiful car, enjoying the beauty of somebody, there's nothing wrong with it. But the moment I want to possess it, own it, squeeze it, torture it to give me happiness, angadam problem. Yeah, it can be there. Yeah. It's a beautiful object, it can be a beautiful person, it can be a beautiful entity like a bird, it can be a beautiful human being also. The moment I want to possess, own, torture, squeeze the other to give me happiness. This is called this is called victim of raga dvesha, and this will necessarily end up in agony and pain. This is how raga dvesha ends up in agony and pain. Huh? Is it okay? Yeah. We conclude with this for today, and we continue with verse number 65.
Another one by Vishweshwara Rao.
Oh, another one by Vishweshwara. Sir, can't we see it as everybody acts according to his vasanas? Correct. That is knowledge. If I understand everybody is acting according to their inner nature, according to their own vasanas, I will not develop. I will not develop dvesha. Problem is, I am not able to accept their gunas. I am not able to accept their vasanas. It is my non-acceptance of their gunas and vasanas that causes dvesha. My guna is to philosophize. If you don't like this, you will have hatred towards me. Now, I am so helpless about you. I am so helpless towards your hatred. Now, if I want you to love me, what do I have to do? I have to do something to please you. And that attempt I make to please you makes me more. The attempt that I make to please you makes me more agitated and frustrated. In the bargain, what happens? You are also frustrated. I am also frustrated. At least one person should wake up. Practice titiksha. Alpana. Wow, fantastic. Where is she? Is she here still or gone? Alpana. Is she here? I don't know where she is. Practice titiksha. Fantastic. Practice titiksha. And don't tell this to Rupava. She will kill me. Yeah. Practice. Okay, well, Venkat, we finished everything?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We continue with verse number 65 onwards next discussion.